Morning we're going to talk about integration. There's a lot of different areas where we need integration in our lives when we just aren't flowing. And if things aren't flowing, a lot of times we get stuck. And from time to time, I get stuck. And when I'm stuck, I have to think, first of all, do I want this stuckness? What is this stuckness giving me? And what can I have instead? Where is it? Is it I don't know what I want to do, a frustration or an anxiety about where do I want to go? Is there confusion in there about a choice to make?
It's interesting as well, as you might watch her physiology, even as she's talking about it, and as I talk about it, we have a tendency to think about them as being maybe two different ways of being. One way I can do this, another way I can do that, perhaps. But integration is a process that we know when we need to have it. When we want to be full and we want to be congruent and we want to make sure that our lives are whole, usually it's because something is either A, missing, or B, it's not integrated, or it's outside of the sphere of where we want to be and what we want to be doing in our life.
Yeah. A couple of the NLP presuppositions or assumptions about NLP that we're going to be revisiting over the next hour or so have to do with our intentions being aligned, and that every behavior that we have has a positive intention. Also, the presupposition or assumption with NLP that says all processes or all NLP should increase choice and wholeness.
And as you know, when we are working with a person, a lot of things do hinge upon a person's belief system. And your beliefs have an awful lot to do with how you actually are integrating not only your thoughts, but which are mental sometimes, your mental thoughts, your conscious thoughts, but also your unconscious, the ones that are beyond your awareness. And that's one of the really great things that we want to share with you, that in NLP we have tools to be able to help people become integrated in almost any area of their life. And like I said before, people are quite aware when they are not working on all of their parts working together. Interestingly, though, we do have parts a lot of times that are congruent. So not every single part in your life needs to be integrated. It may already be working with the rest of the wholeness.
Absolutely. Like, for example, a part of me really wants to do well at work and be at work and excel there, but another part of me wants to excel and be with my family. Now, I want to do both of those things, so they're not necessarily incongruent with me. They would, however, be incongruent if one area was getting more of me than the other, and I was letting one of those areas down.
And that sometimes is what people present to us, is when it does become a problem in their life. For instance, another example of that would be that I am very focused on being an on-time person. I want to make sure that we're on time. There's a part of me that says, make sure that you're on time. It's almost not a little voice that keeps going, but it is something that makes me aware of the time element. But yet, I have another part of me that also wants to make sure that everybody is getting in here today what you do need. So those two parts actually help each other to be with the wholeness of who I am, and to make sure that this gets done in a properly timely way, but yet so you have lots and lots of information.
As well as just those internal parts that are within us, we're actually also going to be looking at a variety of levels that we want to be able to integrate in our lives so that we can be working as a whole integrated unit, to be able to ensure that where we're at in life, we're going on a forward path instead of meandering off to the path and grazing for a little while.
And all processes and procedures should increase wholeness and choice, as Heidi said earlier, and which means that there's a lot of really fantastic parts, integration processes and techniques within NLP that we have to offer you. And today we're actually going to be demonstrating some of those for you, so you can actually have an opportunity to not only see it in action, but also, as we've done before in the class, so you can watch people and calibrate as they go through the process and technique, and maybe even see the difference.
Absolutely. Remember that while you're calibrating, you're watching for things like body movement, from someone starting in one body movement or physiology to that will change after or during the process. Even watching somebody's facial features or their tonality of their face They may become more taut, or the breathing may even change. And these are all the things that, as we're doing processes, that you want to be looking for. Also within even the tonality of somebody's speaking, that may even change as we bring more congruency together or more alignment within these things. We'll also be looking at another process which was modeled on Walt Disney, and absolutely fun process.
It is a good process, and it comes really from the work also of Robert Dilts, who has this ability of looking at ways that people do things exquisitely and then chunking them into steps for us to use in our own life. So it's a really good process and technique that is useful in business, your business world, or your home world, or you know, parenting. Lots of applications. All of these techniques have tons of applications. Another good thing to utilize and to watch with your sensory acuity with people as well is the fact that people will be gesturing. They'll make gestures sometimes to the different parts. Sometimes they'll have this as one of their parts and they'll gesture using that hand or this. And you can tell which part is actually talking by which way they're actually even gesturing. And their voice and tonality, as Heidi said as well. I've had people before where their voice almost changes when this part is actually talking. So it's actually communicating with these parts. It's something that people didn't know they had the ability to do. And now we know we can do it. And these are things that you can do by yourself. You don't need someone else to actually help you to integrate your parts if they are incongruent. You can do it yourself as well.